Progress is continuing to be made on the Upper Applegate fire this morning. We'll have the latest information on the fire and where evacuations stand.
Plus, the Josephine County budget is seeing contention over the sheriff's budget. We'll tell you what county commissioners have decided to do.
And this morning, you're definitely going to feel on the cooler side, and we're not warming up too much from that. Today at the start of summer, we're only expecting our highs into the 60s for us in the Rogue Valley. I'll have more details on your Friday and into the weekend coming up.
Live, local, late breaking. This is NewsWatch 12 this morning.
Good morning. The time is 6 a.m. on your Friday morning. Welcome to NewsWatch 12 this morning. I'm Damien Alvarado.
And I'm Carlos Murrieta. We first want to turn over to Storm Tracker 12 meteorologist Sarah Kress to get a look at what our Friday's looking up. And Sarah, happy first day of summer. Are we going to be getting those summer conditions as we're heading into today?
Absolutely not. We will not. It's going to be feeling a lot like April for us today. Right now, temperatures outside not quite as chilly as what it was yesterday. 54 into Medford, 50 to Wairika Gold Beach, over to Klamath Falls, 48. Lots of clouds around the region this morning as well. We are tracking showers beginning to develop areas offshore. Should see them increase along the coast for us this morning, and throughout the day areas inland will see those showers increase as well, with the potential for some thunderstorms joining that. And summer does officially start today at 7:42 p.m. but we'll be into the 60s for us. Average temperature this time of year into the Rogue Valley is 83 degrees. So it's nearly a 20-degree temperature difference, and around the rest of the region we'll be feeling those cold temperatures as well. Along the coast only into the 50s for the day. Areas over east side into the 60s and 50s, and to Northern California into the 60s, just like the Rogue Valley today. So definitely gonna be feeling cool. You might want to break out those long sleeves and maybe some jackets for you. Current wind gusts across the region, they're starting to pick up for us even this morning. Right now 25 miles per hour over into Klamath Falls. A little bit more gustier this morning. Elsewhere, those sustained wind gusts over into Medford, 10 miles per hour, a bit calmer along the coast for us this morning. But today into tomorrow, we're expecting more scattered showers, some embedded thunderstorms. Those cool temperatures will stick around as we're starting our weekend, even seeing those snow levels fall a bit into your Saturday, or overnight tonight. So we'll talk more about what you can expect coming up in your next forecast.
We are continuing to track the Upper Applegate fire this morning, as 95% of the fire's perimeter has been lined. More than 200 firefighters were assigned to the fire overnight, focusing on strengthening control lines and mopping up hotspots. One final section on the north side still being secured due to hazardous dead trees. And despite gusty winds, a small spot fire about 1/100th of an acre crossed a line on the north side, but crews were able to quickly contain it.
We use retardant from those air tankers to create temporary fire lines, and you can see on this fire where it actually did corral that and stop it from burning into more green areas.
Level 2B set evacuation warnings remain in effect for zones JAC 427 and JAC 436. Meanwhile, JAC 437 is under a level 1B ready advisory. Upper Applegate and Little Applegate roads have reopened, and the cause of the fire is currently under investigation.
Just north of the Upper Applegate fire, crews also responded to a fire near North Applegate Road. That fire has been stopped at 10 acres and is 80% lined. Helicopters assisted earlier with water drops. A 20-person crew is working alongside engines to finish containment. As firefighters stayed on scene overnight to mop up, no evacuations are in place for this fire.
The town of Lakeview is under water usage guidelines to conserve resources through the end of October. Lawn watering between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. daily is now restricted to reduce water waste during summer heat. The town says they're currently operating with a limited number of active wells, limiting the available water supply. 2 new wells are being added to the water system, but water conservation is needed in the meantime.
The Josephine County Commissioners met Wednesday morning to finalize the 2025 to 2026 budgets for several areas in the overall county, with commissioners voting to reject additional funds for the Sheriff's Department. In previous meetings, Sheriff Dave Daniel has requested an additional $774,000 for the Sheriff's Office. This would create a 24-hour patrol unit for the county and add a second SRO in the Three Rivers School District. Several residents participated in public comment periods, expressing the needs for these resources.
One of the key things that we need for economic development to happen is a feeling of security in our community.
Josephine County Commissioners voted to decline the sheriff's request for the additional funding, saying they must preserve financial stability. This means the sheriff's office will continue to operate without those 24-hour patrols.
New this morning, state-funded preschool programs are at risk of losing millions of dollars in funding, as Senate Bill 5514 was passed in the Oregon Senate. The bill is the 2025 through 2027 budget for the state's two-year-old Department of Early Learning and Care. Senate Bill 5514 would cut $45 million from the $1.4 billion budgets, which would mark a 3% cut. And the measure passed this week on a 22-6 vote. The bill now moves to the House, where a vote has not yet been scheduled. You can find more details on the bill on our website. As immigration enforcement raids and detentions ramp up in the country, many are wondering, what does this mean for those of us in Southern Oregon? Laura Gutierrez, a local immigration attorney, is working to keep immigrants in line within the legal citizenship process. But she says the window of legality for people in the system can change at any time. And one of her specialties is representing children who have been abandoned, abused, and neglected in the country. They previously had protections from deportation, but now those protections don't exist, with orders for deportation targeting them.
This is contrary to, I think, what our civil society requires, which is that we actually protect vulnerable people, not send them back to places where they are at risk of being injured or killed.
Attorneys and nonprofits being targeted with charges of aiding and abetting, as well as filing fraudulent paperwork. She says understanding is needed to remedy what she calls an upheaval in the immigration process.
Oregon lawmakers are looking for new ways to pay for wildfire prevention, and one proposal could cost you a little extra next time you buy a drink. Under House Bill 3940, shoppers would pay an extra 5 cents per beverage container on top of the 10-cent bottle deposit. But unlike the 10-cent bottle deposit, this surcharge wouldn't be refunded. Instead, the money would go directly to the state fire marshal to help pay for wildfire prevention and response.
Surcharge is actually going to, like you said, like wildfire prevention. I mean, I would gladly pay a 5-cent surcharge if that's what it's going to.
If the nicotine tax proposal gets approved, the entire bill will be rewritten to lay out how the oral nicotine surcharge would work. This is just one potential addition to a major wildfire funding plan that lawmakers and Governor Kotek are trying to work out before the end of the legislative session, which is just 9 days from now.
A bill that would create flexible state funding for early education in Oregon's federally recognized tribes is heading to Governor Kotek's desk. House Bill 2815 aims to create a tribal early learning fund, which would allow each tribe to focus on initiatives most relevant to their nations, passed in both the House and Senate. With this bill, grants awards will be directly administered to tribes rather than third parties. Supporters say this bill will improve early learning opportunities, closing some disparities faced by tribal communities.
The Shasta Trinity National Forest is urging water recreation enthusiasts to take action against golden mussels this morning. The California Department of Water Resources says that golden mussels were found in the Bay Delta near Stockton in October of 2024. Officials say golden mussels are known to have negative ecological and recreational impacts. The best way to protect against the spread of invasive mussels is to clean, drain, and dry your watercraft and gear before leaving.
2 men are now in jail after more than 7,000 illegal marijuana plants were seized from a Cave Junction residence earlier this week. The Josephine Marijuana Enforcement Team executed 3 search warrants for the property with the aid of the FBI, Homeland Security, and the DEA. During the search, the 2 guns and a large amount of cash were seized in addition to the illegal marijuana plants. 2 men were arrested and now face charges of unlawful manufacturing and possession of marijuana.
Oregon's Unemployment Department has released its report for May. Jobs are down in some areas and overall, unemployment continues to rise. The state's unemployment rate rose to 4.8% in May, more than 0.5% higher than the national rate. In the last two reports, we've seen unemployment jump to 2%, which state economists say is not much. But we're still seeing a gradual increase, however. Oregon closed out 2024 at 4.3%, so in 5 months since, we've jumped a 0.5 percentage point. Jobs in leisure and hospitality have increased the most this year by about 6,000. Manufacturing is currently taking the largest hits, losing about 6,100 jobs in the last year alone.
And this morning we are waking up with a bit more cloud coverage, and we're starting to track showers developing offshore that should increase for us throughout the day today. But current temperatures were at 54 to Medford, 48 to Klamath Falls, Gold Beach and Wairika into the lower 50s for us. Now in terms of rainfall, it's going to be falling today and into tomorrow. Amount wise, it'll be anywhere from about 1/10 of an inch to about 1/2 areas over to west side. Greater amounts will be along the Cascades for us, traced to about 1/10 as we work our way areas east side, but we could see locally higher amounts with these showers. I'll have more details for you on the timing and when and how long we'll see this weather coming up in about 7 minutes.